and gentlemen across the galaxy, hope you're doing great. This is a beautiful day, and welcome to our monthly episode of Speculation Review. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Today, it's going to be Wookiees, Jedis, and clones. Oh my. We like to do this every single month to kind of get us excited because, let's be honest, that road ahead, although I am excited for whatever this new game mode is going to bring the Galaxy of Heroes, we really didn't get any direction in a sense. What is the next era, chapter that we're going to be working on in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? And to talk about it all, we got to talk about our monthly login reward. As we know, the login reward for this month was Luke. 90% of the time, the login reward indicates something out there. And right now, this month, or at the close of this month, we know that obviously Luke was indication of Jedi Knight Luke coming to Galaxy of Heroes. We'll have some more videos in July here. I didn't make really many videos of Luke in June because I didn't want to spend money on him when he first came out. So what is the login reward for this month, you might be asking? Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's big, he's hairy, he stands up for all the morals of democracy. That is going to be Clone Wars Chewbacca. It's going to be the login reward for July, and this has given me a couple of ideas in regards to what we can expect for this upcoming month. I have a lot of stuff I'm going to bring to your guys' attention, and we're going to kind of get a little crazy with some of our speculation, but we're going to pull it back and get reasonable. Look at what the game is needing right now in terms of some of the content we have in a game that's lacking some characters. We'll bring that up, some reworks potentially, and dare I say, a Mace rework potentially this month. We're not going to get too carried away here, but we have a lot of reasonable suspicions, and kind of like last month, we kind of predicted a new Luke was coming. So let's start off with this. The first thing I want to bring up is let's just put up the most outlandish thing I would personally like to see come to Galaxy of Heroes. I would love to see a Wookiee faction, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if people are gonna, I feel like people are gonna be kind of on board with me. We have so many Wookiees in this game, yet we do not have a Wookiee tag in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. We have like, what, 4 Wookiees, I believe? We have Zalbar, we got Chewbacca, Rebels Chewbacca, we got Clone Wars Chewbacca, we got Vandar Chewbacca. I think we only have 4 Wookiees in the game. I might have to double check in a moment, but I can't because there's not a Wookiee tag. I actually have to go through and look through it. But the point being, I want to put the most outlandish thing out there because what does Clone Wars Chewbacca represent? Well, one of which is that he's a Wookiee, and there are a lot of actually named Wookiees out there. Of course, you can add a generic Wookiee warrior or something like that. But as we see, we got other Wookiees that we could add. We already have Zalbar in here. This is just a random list I pulled up just to put a couple of ideas out there. Lobaka. You guys want Jedi and Wookiee content? Boom. There you go. You get Lobaka Legendary event. Then there's Gunji from the Clone Wars TV show. I thought this would be kind of funny to put out there because I think this game, I like those species-specific type of factions out there. Like Geonosians is probably the most prominent species-specific faction out there that we have. We don't have a Wookiee faction. We have a Jawa faction. It's kind of not really doing too much right now. Then Gungans, people are like, hey, what about a Gungan faction? So I want to put out the most outlandish thing. I would love to see a Wookiee faction of some sort. And who knows, maybe Ki-Adi-Mundi himself would be a part of it, because let's be honest, there's not a lot to do with Ki-Adi-Mundi without taking a character to at least Gear 12, not being able to put 6-stop mods in these characters. Anything under 7 stars in Galaxy Heroes is kind of useless, and without a way to use Ki-Adi-Mundi with Jedi right now, because there's not a lot of good Galactic Republic Jedi to use with him, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker is really the replacement for your Mace Windu rework for the time being. Maybe they can get cute and add a Wookiee faction with Ki-Adi-Mundi synergy. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? I don't know. That's my most outlandish speculation I'm going to put out there. But let's get a bit more reasonable. Let's actually read kind of the breadcrumb trail that Capital Games has left us. As you know, they talked a lot last year, giving us hints that they're coming back to the Clone Wars era at some point. We suspected it was going to be right after the month of, what was it? Right after the whole Galactic Legends was over, but we kind of got unfortunate news that they were canceling the raid. They're stalling out the Mace Windu rework. They didn't say the Mace Windu rework is never going to happen. They basically said it's going to be kind of tabled. They basically, if you guys remember, if you guys weren't back then, I'll give you guys a little summary. What they said in their response in regards to no Mace Windu rework is they didn't want to rush it, and they want to make sure it was well made and well timed, because a Mace Windu rework, they wanted to make sure it gets appropriate attention. It's not like Darth Vader, where Darth Vader just needed one ability to take him to the next level. Mace Windu kind of needs a complete overhaul. Fun fact, I believe this would be his 3rd rework. He's had reworks in the past. They were not good. But I want to bring this up to start our conversation, because what's the other aspect of Clone Wars Chewbacca is that Clone Wars part of Chewbacca's name, which might mean they're coming back to the Clone Wars era, because they gave us a lot of hints last year in podcasts as well as here, is that, there's a the Clone Wars TV show, a new season coming out. I wonder if we'd come back. So they never said when they'd come back, but they kind of hinted that they want to revisit the Clone Wars era after the whole sequel trilogy content was knocked out. Maybe not, I shouldn't even call it content. The sequel trilogy characters were knocked out. So this leads us into our conversation of the Clone Wars aspect. And I think this is the more reasonable speculation to discuss. The Wookiees, I really would love to see that sometime. At least the Wookiee tag and some sort of synergy between Wookiees. I would love to see that. But I think the more reasonable thing is they're returning to the Clone Wars era, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a few blatant things that kind of indicate that they would return to the Clone Wars era. Right now, we have Geonosis territory battles going on in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, so I can't quite show the light side variant, but we have the dark side variant right now. But obviously, there's two blatant things that we're missing. Firstly, there's basically a Kenobi and a Commander Cody battle in a special mission inside of Geonosis territory battles, and really it doesn't make all that sense because there's minimal synergy between Kenobi and Cody. Yes, Kenobi has a little bit of clone synergy, but we've been predicting that there's going to be maybe a 212th Attack Battalion reworks, new characters. Some people speculated, hey, maybe they could tank the clone sergeant. They want a 212th tag on him, and boom, you already got 3 212th Attack Battalion clones. I believe you could add Waxer and Boyle, kind of like all the 501st love that they gave us last year for General Anakin Skywalker. My prediction is that we're probably going to get some Clone Wars era content, and I would think, based off Geonosis light side territories, we kind of nailed this in the head so many times over the past couple months and what we needed, but it seems like they could easily add 212th Attack Battalion characters, maybe rework Kenobi to have more synergy with the 212th, kind of like how Anakin has a lot of 501st synergy. General Kenobi, the leader of the 212th, should probably have some sort of synergy as well, since his leadership says 212th Attack Battalion Commander, but no one really uses him for 212th Attack Battalion characters. If people ever use him as a lead, it's mostly as a generic kind of catch-all lead of some sort for your leftover Jedi and Galactic Republic allies. So that, I think, is probably going to be the most reasonable explanation of what we're running into, because we need that. But furthermore, I get that Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker came in, fantastic event, yada, yada, yada. We don't have to rehash too much of that. But the problem is, Jedi Knight Luke is not really the answer for those Jedi missions for Geonosis territories. As you know, after your Jedi Knight Revan, you need a second Jedi team, and really there's not a good second Jedi team. Obviously, JKL, Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, could be that solution for people, but people who do not get Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, and maybe not anytime soon, granted, not as hard to get as Galactic Legends. More people are probably going to have Luke than Galactic Legends, Rey and Kylo, but we need other teams to kind of work for those secondary Jedi missions out there. And I don't want to get people too excited because we've been hoping for a while. They've let us down, but they never said it's not going to happen. I already said the other day in my live streams, like, I can't imagine another year go by and no Mace Windu rework happen. Maybe they're revisiting the Clone Wars era, and they're going to probably give Mace Windu that deserved rework he's needed. As I said, they didn't want to rush it. They didn't want to half-bake it. They want to make sure that they give him a proper rework that people can enjoy. Maybe the Mace Windu rework could happen this month, because the other thing we need, aside from that 212th Attack Battalion thing for that special mission, we need more good Jedi. Not just Mace Windu, not just for that special mission that we're just for those extra Jedi missions in light side Geonosis territory battles, but really, people unlocking Cam. I've come across a lot of people in the top ends of Grand Arena. No one's really using this guy. I've seen him one time, but he doesn't add much if there's not a good Galactic Republic Jedi team. And with Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker taking the good leftover Jedi, there's not a lot left over. So between that special, the Jedi missions, Mace Windu being neglected, and so far, this is a very underwhelming reward for all the hard effort you got to put in the light side Geonosis against the Reek. Not a lot of good bang for your buck. So that's why I'm thinking Jedi reworks could be happening this month, if indeed we're entering the Clone Wars era yet again. Because if people might say, well, we just had Clone Wars era content. Well, let me refresh your memory. At one point, we had older public content, new characters that happened in the midsummer of 2018. Thank you, Gary. And then late fall 2018. Then they took a break. I think they went to The Last Jedi. I think that's what they did. And then they came back to Knights of the Old Republic. So point being, just because they just did Clone Wars era stuff last year, it doesn't mean they're done. They could definitely revisit it quite shortly later, just like Knights of the Old Republic. They did in the summer, fall, and then they came back in the spring, summer of the next year. They can easily do the same thing for the Clone Wars era. Those are really the most reasonable things I can honestly put out there what this month is going to be all about. I want to just get people kind of hopeful and excited because I was very surprised that they didn't at least talk about the next era they're working on. Obviously, there's Mandalorian characters, and we don't know what's that going to pan out to. I'm not suspecting too much Mando stuff until season 2 arrives. But with the season 7 for the Clone Wars TV show ending about, a month ago now, there's a lot of stuff they can definitely add. I know people want to have some of those new clones that we saw in the first few episodes of season 7. A lot of characters they could add from that season. New Ahsoka Tano, new Darth Maul. I don't know if they're going to add those characters anytime soon, but point being, they have a lot of stuff for the Clone Wars era that they could definitely finish up. And just reading this and their comments in the past saying they do want to return to the Clone Wars era and make sure that, they satisfy those needs that were missing out in the Galactic Republic. Of course, Separatists could get some more stuff, but I'll be honest, I'm looking at the Separatist faction. The Separatists are pretty solid. Almost every Separatist in the game, aside from maybe Asajj not having much Separatist synergy besides just a tag, the Separatist faction is pretty spot on, but I mean, they could always add a couple more droids, maybe a commando droid of some sort, or maybe one of those sniper droids. A lot of stuff, of course. There's a lot of droids rolling off the factory, but I think the Separatists are looking good. I spent most of my time talking about the Galactic Republic for a reason, because Light Side Geonosis Terrace Battles is very difficult, and there's obviously missing characters, teams, and reworks to help us get some higher stars on that map. That's going to wrap it up for today. Will our Wall of Democracy get a rework? Will he get some new Wookiees? Or more reasonably, do you guys expect some 212th Attack Battalion stuff, Jedi stuff, Clone Wars era stuff in general in this upcoming July? You guys let me know down below. Let's hope we get some more communication. That's the one thing that Capital Games does not do well is communication. Just tell us, give us a rough idea what you guys want to do, because let me tell you, all these people tuning in today, they're excited. They want to know what's going to happen next for Star Wars Galaxies, and I really hope at the minimum there's reworks, because reworks, kind of like the Darth Vader thing, are my absolute favorite thing next to brand new content coming to Galaxy Heroes. Like, comment down below on all your thoughts, and be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And Gary, what do we tell them? And we'll see you in the next video. All right, Gary, roll out the outro.